Welcome back to Above the Clouds, the untold stories of aviation. I'm your host, and in our last episode, we explored the strategic decisions that define how successful individuals and companies access private aviation, examining the advantages of charter services over ownership and fractional programs. Today, we're diving into one of the most transformative forces in modern private aviation, the digital revolution that has fundamentally changed how private flights are booked, managed, and experienced. This isn't just about moving from phone calls to mobile apps. It's about how technology has made private aviation more efficient, more accessible, and more responsive to client needs than ever before. Over the past 2 decades, I've witnessed firsthand how technology has revolutionized every aspect of private aviation operations. From the way we identify and evaluate aircraft, to how we track flights in real time, to how we communicate with clients and crews, digital innovation has transformed private aviation from a relationship-based, phone-driven industry into a sophisticated, data-driven service that combines the best of technology with personalized attention. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture yourself as a private aviation client in 1995. You need to book a flight from New York to Miami for next Tuesday. You call your charter broker, who then spends hours making phone calls to operators, checking aircraft availability, comparing prices, and coordinating schedules. The process takes most of a day, involves dozens of phone calls, and relies entirely on the broker's personal relationships and memory of aircraft capabilities and operator quality. Now imagine the same scenario today. You open an app on your phone, enter your travel requirements, and within minutes you have access to dozens of aircraft options with real-time availability, transparent pricing, and detailed information about each aircraft and operator. You can compare options, read reviews, view aircraft photos, and book your flight instantly. The entire process that once took hours now takes minutes. But this transformation goes far deeper than just booking convenience. Technology has revolutionized every aspect of private aviation operations, from flight planning and weather monitoring to maintenance tracking and customer service. Let's explore how this digital revolution unfolded and what it means for private aviation today. Let's start our story in the early 1990s, when private aviation was still largely a paper-based, relationship-driven industry. Charter brokers maintained their aircraft databases on index cards or simple computer spreadsheets. Flight planning was done manually, using paper charts and weather reports received by fax. Communication with aircraft and crews relied on radio and early satellite phone systems that were expensive and unreliable. The booking process was entirely relationship-based. Successful charter brokers were those who had developed extensive networks of personal relationships with aircraft operators, who could remember the capabilities and characteristics of hundreds of different aircraft, and who could coordinate complex logistics through phone calls and personal connections. This system worked, but it had significant limitations. It was slow, it was prone to errors and miscommunications, and it required extensive personal knowledge and relationships that took years to develop. Most importantly, it limited the growth and accessibility of private aviation because the industry couldn't scale beyond the capacity of individual brokers to manage relationships and information. The first major breakthrough came in the mid-1990s with the development of computerized aircraft databases and scheduling systems. Companies like Flight Safety International and Aviation Research Group began developing comprehensive databases of aircraft specifications, operator information, and safety records that could be accessed electronically rather than maintained manually. These early systems were revolutionary for their time, but they were still primarily tools for aviation professionals rather than clients. The real transformation began when entrepreneurs started to envision how technology could make private aviation more accessible and user-friendly for clients themselves. The internet revolution of the late 1990s and early 2000s created new possibilities for private aviation that visionary entrepreneurs were quick to recognize. If people could book hotels and rental cars online, why couldn't they book private aircraft? If they could track packages and shipments in real time, why couldn't they track their flights? One of the early pioneers in this space was a company called Flight Time, founded in 1999 with the vision of creating an online marketplace for private aviation. Their platform allowed clients to submit trip requests online and receive quotes from multiple operators, bringing transparency and competition to a market that had traditionally been opaque and relationship-driven. But the real breakthrough came when companies began to understand that technology could do more than just automate existing processes. It could fundamentally improve the private aviation experience by providing clients with information, control, and convenience that had never been available before. Let me tell you about one of the most significant early innovations: real-time aircraft tracking. Before this technology, clients had very limited visibility into their flights once the aircraft departed. They might receive occasional updates by phone, but they had no way to track their flight's progress or receive real-time information about delays or routing changes. Real-time tracking changed everything. Suddenly, clients could see exactly where their aircraft was, how fast it was traveling, what altitude it was flying, and when it would arrive at the destination. This wasn't just convenient, it was transformational for business planning and peace of mind. I remember one client who was flying to an important business meeting and encountered unexpected weather delays. Instead of sitting in uncertainty, he could track his flight in real time, see exactly how the delay would affect his arrival time, and communicate accurate information to the people waiting for him. This level of transparency and control was unprecedented in private aviation. This real-time visibility and control is something we take for granted today, but it represents a fundamental shift in how private aviation operates. Clients are no longer passive passengers. They're informed participants who have access to the same information as aviation professionals. The mobile revolution of the 2000s and 2010s brought even more dramatic changes to private aviation. Smartphones and tablets made it possible for clients to access private aviation services anytime, anywhere, with the same convenience they expected from other digital services. Mobile apps transformed private aviation booking from a complex, time-consuming process into something that could be done in minutes from anywhere in the world. But the best mobile platforms did more than just replicate desktop functionality. They reimagined the entire private aviation experience for mobile users. Consider how mobile technology changed the way clients interact with private aviation services. Instead of calling during business hours and waiting for callbacks, clients could submit requests, receive quotes, and book flights 24/7. Instead of relying on brokers to describe aircraft and operators, clients could view photos, read specifications, and access safety records directly. But perhaps most importantly, mobile technology made private aviation more spontaneous and responsive. Clients could book flights with very short notice, make changes to existing bookings, and communicate with operations teams in real time. This flexibility and responsiveness opened up new use cases for private aviation that hadn't been practical with traditional booking methods. Let me share an example of how mobile technology transformed a client's use of private aviation. A technology executive was attending a conference in Las Vegas when he received an urgent call about a crisis at one of his company's facilities in Texas. Using his mobile app, he was able to find and book a flight to Dallas that departed 2 hours later, all while sitting in a conference session. The entire process, from identifying the need to having an aircraft ready for departure, took less than 90 minutes. This kind of responsiveness and flexibility would have been impossible with traditional phone-based booking systems. This ability to respond quickly to changing circumstances and opportunities is one of the most valuable aspects of modern private aviation technology. When clients can access private aviation services instantly, they can use these capabilities more strategically and effectively. As private aviation technology matured, companies began to realize that the data generated by digital platforms could provide valuable insights that could improve service quality and efficiency. Every booking, every flight, every client interaction generated data that could be analyzed to identify patterns, optimize operations, and enhance the client experience. Advanced analytics began to transform how private aviation companies understood their clients and operations. They could identify which aircraft types were most popular for specific routes, which operators provided the best service and reliability, and which clients had travel patterns that could be served more efficiently. This data-driven approach led to innovations like predictive pricing, which uses historical data and market conditions to provide more accurate and competitive pricing. It enabled dynamic inventory management, which ensures that the most appropriate aircraft are available when and where clients need them. But perhaps most importantly, data analytics enabled personalization at scale. Private aviation companies could use data to understand individual client preferences and travel patterns, allowing them to provide customized recommendations and proactive service that felt personal, even as the companies grew to serve thousands of clients. For example, if data showed that a client typically flew from New York to Miami on Friday afternoons, the system could proactively suggest aircraft options for upcoming Friday flights. If a client consistently chose specific aircraft types or operators, the system could prioritize those options in future searches. This combination of data-driven insights and personalized service represents the best of both worlds. The efficiency and scalability of technology, combined with the personal attention that private aviation clients expect. This data-driven personalization is something that continues to evolve and improve. The more we understand about client preferences and travel patterns, the better we can anticipate their needs and provide proactive service that exceeds their expectations. The latest frontier in private aviation technology is artificial intelligence and machine learning, which are beginning to transform how private aviation services are delivered and experienced. AI systems can analyze vast amounts of data to optimize flight routing, predict maintenance needs, and identify the best aircraft and crew combinations for specific missions. Machine learning algorithms can process weather data, air traffic information, and historical flight patterns to recommend optimal departure times and routing that minimize delays and maximize efficiency. They can analyze operator performance data to identify the most reliable providers for specific routes and aircraft types. But AI is also transforming the client experience in more subtle ways. Natural language processing allows clients to interact with booking systems using conversational interfaces that feel more natural and intuitive than traditional form-based systems. Predictive analytics can anticipate client needs and make proactive recommendations that save time and improve outcomes. Let me give you an example of how AI is being used to enhance private aviation today. An AI system might analyze a client's travel history, calendar integration, and current market conditions to suggest optimal flight options before the client even submits a request. It might identify potential weather delays and recommend alternative departure times or routing to avoid disruptions. These AI-powered insights don't replace human expertise, they enhance it. Aviation professionals can focus on providing strategic guidance and personalized service, while AI systems handle the complex data analysis and optimization that would be impossible to do manually. The result is a level of service that combines the best of human expertise with the power of artificial intelligence to provide recommendations and solutions that are more accurate, more efficient, and more personalized than either could achieve alone. This integration of AI and human expertise represents the future of private aviation technology. As these systems continue to evolve and improve, they'll enable even more sophisticated and personalized service while maintaining the human touch that makes private aviation special. Technology has also revolutionized safety and security in private aviation, providing capabilities that were unimaginable just a few decades ago. Modern aircraft are equipped with sophisticated flight management systems that can automatically optimize routing for weather and traffic conditions, reducing pilot workload and improving safety margins. Real-time weather monitoring systems provide pilots and operations teams with detailed, up-to-the-minute information about conditions along the entire route, allowing them to make informed decisions about routing and timing. Satellite-based navigation systems provide precision approach capabilities that allow aircraft to land safely in conditions that would have been prohibitive with older navigation technology. But safety technology goes beyond just aircraft systems. Ground-based operation centers use advanced monitoring and communication systems to track every flight in real time, providing support and assistance whenever needed. These centers can monitor weather conditions, air traffic delays, and aircraft performance, proactively identifying potential issues and coordinating solutions. Security technology has also advanced dramatically, with sophisticated screening and verification systems that ensure the safety and security of passengers, crew, and aircraft. Biometric identification systems, advanced baggage screening, and comprehensive background checks provide multiple layers of security that protect against various threats. These safety and security technologies operate largely in the background, invisible to clients, but providing crucial protection and peace of mind. They represent the aviation industry's commitment to maintaining the highest possible safety standards while providing the convenience and efficiency that clients expect. The integration of these safety and security technologies with operational systems ensures that safety is never compromised for convenience or efficiency. Every booking, every flight plan, every operational decision is evaluated against comprehensive safety criteria that are built into the technology systems. This seamless integration of safety technology with operational efficiency is one of the most important achievements of the digital revolution in private aviation. Clients can enjoy unprecedented convenience and flexibility while benefiting from the highest safety standards in aviation history. Perhaps the most visible impact of technology on private aviation has been the transformation of the customer experience. What was once a complex, opaque process that required extensive personal relationships and industry knowledge has become accessible, transparent, and user-friendly for clients at all levels of aviation experience. Modern private aviation platforms provide clients with comprehensive information about aircraft options, operator quality, safety records, and pricing. They can compare options, read reviews, view photos and specifications, and make informed decisions based on transparent, objective information. But technology has also enabled new levels of personalization and customization. Client preference profiles can store detailed information about seating preferences, catering requirements, ground transportation needs, and special requests. This information can be automatically applied to future bookings, ensuring consistent service without requiring clients to repeat their preferences for every flight. Communication technology has transformed how clients interact with private aviation providers throughout the entire travel experience. Automated notifications keep clients informed about flight status, weather conditions, and any changes to their itinerary. Real-time messaging allows clients to communicate directly with pilots, operations teams, and ground services. Mobile check-in and digital flight following provide clients with the same level of information and control that they expect from other premium services. They can track their flight's progress, receive updates about arrival times, and coordinate ground transportation, all from their mobile device. But perhaps most importantly, technology has made private aviation more reliable and predictable. Automated systems can identify potential issues before they become problems, proactively suggesting alternatives and solutions that minimize disruptions to client travel plans. This combination of transparency, personalization, and reliability has made private aviation more accessible and appealing to a broader range of clients. Technology has removed many of the barriers and uncertainties that once made private aviation seem intimidating or unpredictable. Technology has also transformed private aviation into a truly global service, with platforms and systems that can coordinate complex international itineraries across multiple countries and regulatory jurisdictions. Advanced flight planning systems can automatically handle customs and immigration requirements, overflight permits, and international routing restrictions. Global positioning and communication systems ensure that aircraft can be tracked and supported anywhere in the world, providing the same level of service and safety whether flying domestically or internationally. Integrated currency and payment systems make it easy for clients to book and pay for international flights regardless of their location or the operator's base currency. This global connectivity has opened up new possibilities for international business and leisure travel, making it practical for clients to use private aviation for worldwide itineraries that would have been complex and difficult to coordinate with traditional systems. Let me share an example of how global technology integration works in practice. A client planning a multi-city business trip through Europe can use a single platform to book aircraft in different countries, coordinate ground transportation in multiple cities, and handle all the regulatory and logistical requirements for international travel. The technology systems automatically handle the complex requirements for international private aviation, customs and immigration procedures, overflight permits, fuel arrangements, and crew scheduling across different time zones and regulatory jurisdictions. This global integration and coordination would be impossible without sophisticated technology systems that can manage the complexity of international private aviation operations while presenting a simple, unified interface to clients. This global connectivity and seamless international service is something that continues to expand and improve as technology systems become more sophisticated and integrated. As we look to the future, emerging technologies promise to bring even more dramatic changes to private aviation. Electric and hybrid aircraft are being developed that will provide quieter, more environmentally friendly flight options for short and medium-range trips. Autonomous flight systems are being tested that could eventually reduce crew requirements and operating costs. Advanced materials and manufacturing techniques are enabling the development of aircraft that are lighter, more efficient, and more capable than current designs. Supersonic aircraft are being developed that could dramatically reduce flight times for long-range travel. But perhaps the most exciting developments are in the integration of private aviation with other transportation modes and digital services. Imagine seamlessly coordinating private aviation with ground transportation, hotels, and business services through integrated platforms that handle every aspect of travel and logistics. These emerging technologies will continue to make private aviation more efficient, more accessible, and more integrated with clients' overall business and personal lives. The digital revolution that began in the 1990s is still accelerating, with new innovations and capabilities being developed continuously. But regardless of how technology continues to evolve, the fundamental principles that guide the best private aviation services will remain constant: safety, reliability, personalized service, and the understanding that technology should enhance rather than replace the human expertise and attention that make private aviation special. The future of private aviation will be defined by the intelligent integration of advanced technology with experienced human professionals who understand how to use these tools to provide exceptional service and value for clients. This combination of technological innovation and human expertise is what makes modern private aviation so powerful and effective. Technology provides the tools and capabilities, but experienced professionals provide the judgment and service that turn those capabilities into exceptional client experiences. As we wrap up today's episode, I want you to appreciate the magnitude of the technological transformation that has revolutionized private aviation over the past 2 decades. We've moved from a paper-based, relationship-driven industry to a sophisticated, data-driven service that combines the best of technology with personalized attention. This transformation has made private aviation more accessible, more reliable, more efficient, and more responsive to client needs. It has opened up new possibilities for how private aviation can be used to support business operations and enhance personal lives. But perhaps most importantly, the digital revolution has democratized access to private aviation by removing many of the barriers and complexities that once made it seem intimidating or inaccessible. Today, anyone can access comprehensive information about private aviation options, compare alternatives, and book flights with the same ease and confidence they bring to other digital services. When you use modern private aviation services, you're benefiting from decades of technological innovation that have transformed every aspect of how private flights are planned, booked, and executed. From the moment you submit a trip request to the moment you arrive at your destination, sophisticated technology systems are working behind the scenes to ensure that your experience is seamless, efficient, and worry-free. but you're also benefiting from the expertise of aviation professionals who understand how to use these technological tools to provide the personalized service and strategic guidance that make private aviation most valuable and effective. Next time on Above the Clouds, we'll explore the global expansion of private aviation, examining how this once American phenomenon has become a worldwide industry serving clients on every continent. We'll discover how different cultures and markets have embraced private aviation and how global connectivity has transformed international business and leisure travel. We'll meet the pioneers who brought private aviation to new markets around the world, and we'll explore how global expansion has created new opportunities and challenges for the industry. Until then, remember that the technology revolution in private aviation is ongoing, with new innovations and capabilities being developed continuously. The digital tools and platforms that make private aviation so accessible and efficient today are just the beginning of what's possible when technology is intelligently applied to enhance human expertise and service. This has been Above the Clouds, the untold stories of aviation. I'm your host, and I'll see you next time above the clouds.